Hey, in our last little teaching with about King Josiah in Second Chronicles in chapter 34, we were talking about how he didn't turn to the left or didn't turn to the right, but it was continuing straight forward in the Lord, and how that was a great thing. But now we're in chapter 35, and things kind of take a turn, and probably not for the best. And as we pick it up in verse 20, it says, "After all this, all the good things that Josiah did, had restored the house, Necho, the king of Egypt, went up to attack Carchemish up by the Euphrates River. King Josiah went out to oppose him. But Necho sent envoys to him with a message, 'Do I have a conflict with you, king of Judah? No, I am coming today to attack not you, but to attack the dynasty with whom I am at war with, the people of Carchemish. And God has ordered to speed me along, so don't meddle with God who is with me, and so that he won't destroy you.'" This is a really firm warning from the king of Egypt to King Josiah. It's like basically saying, butt out of my business, or don't sniff around my front door. There's an old gospel song by, I believe it's not the Chambers Brothers, but one of the old gospel singing bands. And they had a song called, "Don't sweep in front of my front door before you sweep in front of yours." In other words, stick your nose in your own business and keep it out of mine. And this is kind of the idea that King Necho is saying to Josiah. Don't butt into what's not your business. Oftentimes as believers, what we'll end up doing, and hopefully if this doesn't upset anybody, but we start sticking our noses where it doesn't belong. I believe as a believer, we have a right in America to vote. You pick your candidate, I don't care who it is, you pray about it, you vote for them, and if they don't win, you need to be able to accept that and just pray for the guy that does get elected, or woman, whoever it may be. The problem is, I think the church sometimes gets too political. We start sticking our nose where it doesn't belong. You know, wear a mask, don't wear a mask, we can't have church, it's against our constitutional rights. John MacArthur, a couple of months ago, I think put it the best. He said, no government is telling me I can't preach in the name of Jesus. So I'm going to continue to do online messages, and I'll be the first one to step out into the streets preaching Jesus if the government tells me I can't. But see, we're able to do so. But the problem with the church sometimes is we get so political and get so amped up and so charged. Here, I believe we see kind of the same thing with King Josiah. He's like, hey, you're coming through my country. I got to do something about it. And the Lord's saying, just back off. Oftentimes we can push our own opinion and our own views so hard, it ends up killing us. And this is what Josiah is doing here. Verse 22 in the same chapter said, "Nevertheless, Josiah was determined to go after him. He disguised himself in order to fight against him, and he wouldn't listen to what Necho had said, which was from the mouth of God." I mean, there's the one, it's from the mouth of God. Then he went in to fight in the valley of Megiddo, and then he was struck and he was eventually killed. This was the end of a really godly king, and in my opinion, he did something really stupid. And oftentimes, that's what we do as believers. We end up trying to do something that we think is godly because it's something we want so badly, and we need to be careful of it, especially when we know the Lord is with us. Psalm 61:3 says this, "For you have been my refuge, a strong tower against my enemies." The Lord said he's going to take care of it. He's got us covered. What we end up doing sometimes is we get caught up in things that are none of our business. Psalm 119 verse 2 says this, "How happy are those who observe his instructions, who seek him wholeheartedly." This is what we are to do as believers. We are to seek the Lord, and we are to follow wholeheartedly after him. And don't get distracted in things that might necessarily be your business. Have a blessed day seeking the Lord.